I am muted. Oh no. Big fumble there. Um, so I was muted there. Sorry for that. So what I was saying before was Trinity Continuum is essentially a setting where you have peeking. So Trinity Continuum is essentially a setting where you have people who are able to bring stuff in from different dimensions. Sometimes this comes in the form of super science, technological improvements, sometimes it's abilities. There is sort of a timeline here that I'm not going to cover a lot of, but essentially it starts with people being able to bring stuff in from these other dimensions or to modify the dimension that they're currently in a unknown way. So it sort of just seems like they're superhuman but not a superhero. They're kind of like your James Bond type character where things just seem to go well for them. Eventually that changes into the novas, and the novas are essentially these powerful superhumans that become so powerful. Like it's sort of like the TV show The Boys, where you have these superheroes essentially running amok. Dork Tales did a really good actual play of that setting, and I love it, and I can't recommend it enough. I actually think it was on the Onyx Path stream. I think it was like a year ago or so. But for the main Trinity core rulebook, um, it's going to be the talent that you're going to be playing as. Those are your people who are able to innately harness flux to their advantage. Talents do not know that they're reaching into the continuum and changing the world around them, and most people believe that they're just extremely lucky or very skilled individuals. I've talked to some people about how you could play a normal person in Trinity Continuum but still use the talent rules, mainly because if you want to play a highly skilled individual, that's kind of what a talent is, even if they are doing it through sort of like a supernatural or sci-fi way. Now, we've got here the Aeon Society, which is the first allegiance that was created in the 1920s to investigate the strange and do good in the world. I think they are one of the first groups to identify the flux as a thing. I'm just scrolling through here, just making sure I covered most things. The continuum is the parallel dimensions that overlap one another. Um, Edges are the small boosts that all characters in Trinity Continuum have over others. That's pretty much it. We can continue on, and if we have any questions about the lexicon against the vocab, we can come back to this. Now, I am going to go into my favorite view of the PDF. You can't really see it here, but yeah, I can't. I'd have to do it like this. Oh, there's the PDF I really like because they have really good bookmarks. So we're going to start with the character creation, and I haven't really I've gone through a lot of the book already, but I have not done character creation myself. I've taken some notes. I should probably have those notes open just to the side here, just in case I lose anything. But the first stuff that we're going to do is you're going to come up with your character concept. You're going to have your short-term and long-term aspirations, and similar to other systems that Onyx Path has worked on, you're going to have 2 short-term and 1 long-term. This is a little bit different than in Scion, where you had a short-term, a long-term, and a group aspiration. For me, I'm going to switch over to my character sheet here, and let's zoom in here. No, aspirations are down here. Now I do like the idea of playing like a sort of spy type character, so I'm going to say aspiration, break into a secure facility. And then for another one, let's say convince someone I'm a different person. And then lastly, for our long-term goal, this is sort of like you want to get some, you don't want to get name recognition as a spy, but maybe we're using the sort of James Bond spy rules where you go into something like just like a international person of mystery. And there we go. We've got something here. If anyone has any suggestions on what to base this character on, just let me know. I'm sort of flying by the seat of my pants here. We're going all in here. So player, the name of the character we're not going to do yet, but the player is going to be Corbin, and international spy. Go with that. That's it for the moment. That was step 1, concept already done. Now we get into the origin path. So if I go here, the paths. Paths, unlike Scion, have a different way of working. Instead of having skills based on your path, you're going to have your skill, like access to skills associated to your path, but instead of just allocating points or dots into them based on your priority and which ones you like more, it's going to be allocated based on just like, I think it says here you have 4 skills associated with your path, but then if I scroll down here, it's going to say you're going to divide 3 dots across all those skills. So you can put 3 dots into one of those skills, or you can put 2 and 1, and so on and so forth. We're going to have our origin path, our role path, and then our society path. And I believe the society path is going to have us go all the way down to one of the appendixes where we choose a larger organization. We'll come to that soon, but first let's go to our origin path. I'd just like to say hi to the audience. I'm live, so feel free to talk to me whenever. I've got the chat open right here. So if you have any personal suggestions, feel free to throw them at me. So we've got here adventurer, street rat, military brat, right, life of privilege. Some wonderful art here. Imagine if your wife was your fixer and she gave you a bagged lunch that had your weapons in it or gadgets and accidentally gave it to your kids at elementary school. That'd be rough. Okay, so I think for a concept for my character, adventurer really hits the mark for that. There's some edges that are an example here. I'll write those down just so that I don't forget. So my origin is going to be adventurer. Skills are aim, athletics, pilot, survival, and then our edges. I'm assuming these are edges that we can take, but not. I don't think we get access to all of these. Okay. So I have those all written down here. So I'll say adventurer. And if is this, I believe this is the same thing with Scion here. So connections, well-defined collection of people who are someone. So if you're a former intern of a mad scientist, you might be reach out to a support group for former interns. So this is it's similar. You have a contact, you have a group of people you're with, and you have an access. So as an adventurer, it's not a specific adventurer, it's sort of like a theme. So I'm gonna say not just adventurer, but espion. Oh man, but if I do my origin as a spy, that means my society can't be a spy. That's a tough one. Maybe we can sort of put it as corporate espionage, maybe, or what do they call it? Penetration testing? Penetration tester. So then we have people at our old job who we can still talk to, or maybe it's like a DEF CON thing. Like we have there are a group of security experts that we're friends with. So let's say you're a penetration tester, you have security expert friends, and then our contact, let's say, is the person who helped get us into it initially, so our recruiter. And then our access that we have access to would probably be to some sort of like like what would a free security expert course have? Like, I guess training documents and stuff like that, but that doesn't sound interesting. Maybe like a sort of like a crime lab or something, or a safe house. I don't know, like there's got to be something in there. Workshop. I'm just gonna put workshop for right now. So we've got that. We're gonna go down to our role path. So we've got the detective. I always mix up like the sort of like maybe it's not adventurer that we were. Maybe I was thinking of our role path, but I'm gonna keep going with role. We'll say the sneak. The sneak is a good role. So for this one, you could be part of a criminal organization or special ops for the military. We'll say maybe just put in that we've worked with some sort of hacker group, like something like kind of like an anonymous hacker group. But but let's say it's more of a think tank. Maybe a security. Ah, man, I keep going down this rabbit hole. Anyway, so the abilities that this person will get are or skills will either be athletics, enigmas, larceny, technology. And then we got adrenaline spike, alter ident, covert, free running. I love free running. Free running games is always fun, especially when you can use it in combat, because jumping around through a battlefield or through an encounter can be really crazy. Welcome all to building a character in Trinity Continuum. I haven't even gotten to the most difficult part, which I'm I'm scared of, which is going to be when we get to apply the talent role onto this character. So now we've got the society aspect, and if I look here, it's probably going to say go down to allegiances. And since I am playing... Okay, let's go down here. I don't know anything about any of these allegiances. Let's just take a look at some of these. So branch 9, small government law enforcement arm, and then my guess is it gets bigger in their history. Organization foiled a cell. It was underfunded, a joke. The group's effectiveness, despite its size and modesty, did a lot of good despite its lack of notoriety. Scandals decreased faith in the U.S. Took serious funding hit and eventually nearly shut down. Other institutions in the form of private consulting. This, honestly, this sounds like what my character would be doing. Aggressive recruitment. By mid-90s, 9 was just where it wanted to be, an influential intelligence agency, and politics, influential in intelligence and politics, and mostly known to be mostly unknown to the public at large. Okay, so this is, honestly, I might just do this. Is there anything here that says what path concepts? Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, path concepts. Or ex-FBI agent, Okay, so we're doing good here. Oh, man, I skipped ahead. I didn't even say what the snake had access to as part of being part of that think tank. Let's say they have a rival there, friendly rival, and access to crime lab. Okay. So now, moving from there, we're going down to this path back here. Normally, I'd edit this stuff out if I were doing pre-recording, but you guys get to see the raw footage now. So we've got here the aim, larceny, integrity, tech, and then we've got always prepared. Small unit, sniper, wealth. I mean, wealth would be a good one to have. I did have a player in another role-playing game I was a player in who had a superpower that was essentially always prepared, and it became very nasty because they would be like, "Ah, yes, I was always prepared. I have explosives on every corner of my body and drop them immediately where I'm standing and run away." It's not the greatest. It wasn't the greatest because we were doing a player versus player game, so my character died a lot because of that ability, but it was fun. Okay, so now that we've got our path set up, now we can choose our skills, skill tricks, and so forth. So you get 6 additional skill dots plus the 3 skill dots that you get for each of your paths skills. So if we go back to the character sheet here, international spy, origin path is going to be security expert. Role path was going to be vigilante, hacker Hacker group. And then society is going to be 9. What was it? Was it 9? Allegiances here. Yeah, it's just 9. Interesting. Okay, I guess that's got some mystique to it. So what we have here is we'll go through one by one. Security expert, we can take either aim, athletics, pilot, or survival. Let's take aim at 2, and then athletics at 1. They're perfectly fine there. Now we go down to our security expert, which is going to be aim, larceny, integrity, and tech. So I guess I'm gonna have to take tech probably up to 3. So please let me know if you guys can hear me. I did check prior to the start of the stream, but and the little wavies are going up and down. And in case, moving on. So 3 in technology, and then our last one, which is going to be number 9. Aim, larceny, integrity, and tech. Now this is where I feel a little bit weird. I thought I would be an international man of mystery, but I have no persuasion or empathy or enigmas. Oh yeah, Sneak did allow me to take 1 dot in Enigma, so I want to take 1 dot in Enigma. Spread it out a little bit. I don't think there's a penalty. Thank you, Kadam Wall. Awesome. I'm glad it's all working out for you guys. So we got here number 9. Aim, athletics, pilot, survival. So, oh no, I did that one already. Aim, larceny, integrity, and tech. Okay, so I can take another dot of tech. That'll give me a skill point. Then one of their skill tricks, and then we can go to larceny 2, because larceny is kind of a spy thing. Now we do have 6 skill dots to throw around here. If I look here, I don't think they have to be distributed to one specific place. Any skills. Okay. So I should have a total of 15 now. So, I have 6. I should have 9. Cool. Okay, so I'm definitely taking persuasion up to 3. And I will take I kind of want empathy up to 3 too, so that I at least know who I'm talking to. Going down the skills: aim, athletics, close combat, command. That's kind of a new one for me. Enigmas. I remember enigmas sort of like a thinking skill from in dark eras of Chronicles of Darkness. So maybe that's it. Humanities. Not sure. Integrity. I know Scion 2E used integrity as sort of a resist mind control stat. The rest seems self-explanatory. Okay. Is there a skills list here? I'm probably in the system. Here we go. So let's look at the ones that, as a beginner, we might not have heard of. Go to command first. Command is the skill used to get people to follow your will. It's different from persuasion in that command is delivering orders, such as "don't open that door," versus convincing someone that it is a good idea. Okay, so I feel like that has a lot of crossover, but that's fine. Now, one that we haven't heard of before, enigmas. Enigmas reflects a character's ability to use logic to solve puzzles, so like riddles, puzzles, or solutions to complex mathematical equations. It's basically, I would say this: if you're if a player cannot figure out how to solve a puzzle, maybe you're gonna use enigmas to try and help them. So then we got humanities, which is right next to it, so I didn't have to click the thing. Characters, background, and general knowledge, and everything that is usually covered by liberal arts education. Training in the humanities covers art, history, literature, philosophy, law, and so on. So you're high educated. I don't think my character, as far as my concept goes, is that high educated, but we'll go down to integrity here, opposition to persuasion and command. That's fine, and that's it for the ones that I think people won't know initially. Okay, so put 3 in empathy. I'm gonna put 1 in aim, 2 in larceny. Oh no, I put 3 in persuasion, 3 in empathy. Okay. Phew, almost made a mistake there. So I've got 3, 6, 8, 11. Man, math is hard on stream. I'm missing 1 dot. Oh, I had 2 dots in larceny, that's why. Okay, so we're going to go down to the attributes section. Attributes are done similar to step 4. Attributes are done similar to how Scion did them, where you have your primary, your secondary, and your tertiary arenas. The top ranked area gets 6, or the second one gets 4, and the tertiary gets 2. So they all start at 1. So we'll say definitely cunning at. Let's dump mental stats. They're cunning, not intelligent, have no resolve. Their secondary is going to be this one. So let's put their dexterity at 3, their stamina at 1. 2 rather. And presence. Now I have 6 dots that I can put in here. So manipulation go up to 3, up to 4. Composure. And then 2 more dots in there. Okay. So that's it for the attributes at the moment. I'm just checking because I think you do get bonus attributes. Your favored approach. A preferred way, regardless of your arena he's acting in. If he's like direct, his favorite approach. Player gets 1 additional dot to each of their attributes in their favored approach. Okay, so if my favorite approach is finesse, I'm going to get an extra dot in that. I just min-maxed my character by accident. Well, this is how the cookie crumbles. So, we do have the skill tricks that we have to do now. A character gains a skill trick when she has 3 dots in a skill, an additional trick for each additional dot she has over 3. Okay. So I get 1 for empathy, 1 for persuasion, and 1 for technology. So where do the skill tricks reside? Skill tricks. fantastically good at what they do, performing feats that are nearly beyond belief. Skill tricks are special abilities and, well, tricks that a character can perform that give her a chance to at a remarkable success or achieve a feat that would be a 1 in a million stroke of luck. Okay. So stunts, change the target number, change the scale. Okay, so I don't think skill tricks were in the paths. So we're going to go to empathy and look at a couple of these. Cold reader, where you grew up, the name of a relative. That's actually a pretty good one. I like cold reading. It's you can sort of profile a person. Rumor has it 6 degrees, the crack in the ice. Insignificant fact about opponent is able to use it to hammer through their defenses. Useful if I'm interrogating someone. Finding the right person to make introductions. I think I'm gonna go with cold reading. Cold reading seemed like a really good trick to start with. So go up to here. Skill tricks. Cold reading. Okay. PDF I got from the download from Drive-Thru RPG didn't allow me to put a space there for some reason. Interesting. Okay. We had persuasion at 3. These are your persuasive tricks. Captivating personality. You have charm. Devilishly good looks. Easy to love. Sometimes it's more important to build strong and lasting relationships. Oh, that's cute. If this character wasn't a spy, I'd probably take that. Let's do captivating personality. That seems like a good one. The system is similar, but not quite identical to Scion 2E. Essentially, you're going to be rolling d10s and looking for successes on your target number. But additionally, there are going to be complications and other things that happen. There's stunts, failures, consolations, spending successes, all that jazz. If people would like me to go through those at some point, I could probably try and squeeze some in towards the end of this video, this stream. For the moment, though, keep plugging away. Captivating personality, I chose that one just because if you look at here, it says ignore the effect of atmosphere. What's atmosphere? It's an external factor that modifies an attitude by usually 1 to 3 shifts. Some emotions are infectious. Atmosphere is either a positive or negative. An atmosphere is positive, then it increases positive attitudes and decreases negative attitudes. Oh, so this is like you're kind of manipulating reality and how people perceive you. Positive towards so it gives sort of like this number that is Milo's brother typically has a positive attitude of 3 towards Mila, and a negative attitude 1 toward Ari, but the overall atmosphere of his colony is -3, which makes his attitudes to positive attitude 0 towards Mila and negative attitude 4 towards Ari. Okay. I'm guessing this is some sort of modifier on the roll. Okay. Probably. Attitude, here we go. Yeah. intensity. All right, back to, so we just did persuasion, now we do technology. I'm guessing there's going to be a jerry-rig one. Is there a jerry-rig one? Always on the cutting edge of new inventions and technology. It's not a bug, it's a feature. After successfully crafting an item of any rank, the player may spend a momentum to give the item an enhancement quality. Engineering's eye. Like, this person, like, I'm not thinking this person is someone who's going to be crafting or destroying items. Overwatch. Monitoring cameras can spend a momentum to reduce the target number of a single roll for an ally at the location he is in contact with. You know what? Overwatch sounds like a good one. I'm going to just choose that. I like playing characters that can boost other players. A support character is usually, if you find yourself ever feeling like you're stealing the spotlight from other players, I always feel like a support character is a good go-to to try and help with that, because you can't do anything, really. You end up not being able to do anything, but you're able to help people, like, set the spike, as it were. You're not spiking the ball, or like a volleyball. You're setting it up so someone else can spike. Okay. So we've got Overwatch. Did I get specialties? I probably got specialties, too, with the skills. I gain a specialty. Okay. So specialty for persuasion, lying. Larceny does not get one. Technology, let's say, for technology, we'll say internet, I don't know, generic one. Empathy, body language. Try and get the person's disposition, as it were. Okay, so we've done that. We've done the skill trick. We've done that. Now it's the part that I was kind of dreading, which is applying the template. Template paths. So when you get to the talent section, oh god. I mean, it's not safe for work, but it is a little bit squidgy. You get to the talent section, this one talks to you. Anyone can be inspired to become a talent. Most talents think they are normal people, just like everyone else, except they have some extraordinary attribute. For the most part, this is true, but the inspiration that makes a talent more than a normal person comes from something on the outside. These people are more attuned to the flux and thereby inspiration, though most of them don't realize it. Flux is inherent energy that exists in the space between worlds. This reality is not the only one. In fact, there are multiple universes and parallel universes. Talents are capable of harnessing flux, even if there is no flux event. Flux events are usually this situation where the two parallel dimensions collide at a single point, usually at some sort of scientific portal or experiment, and it brings both of those worlds crossing over together for some effect. Allows them to pull so they use inspirations that allow them to pull from a nearby universe that is similar to their own. This is very everything happening all at once. Is that the movie name? Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay. This idea that maybe a master spy may rely on robust inventory of tools and information to be successful, but a talent spy barely has to use his gadgets to get a job done, as his own cunning and abilities often seem to be sufficient for the task. A marksman, master marksman, trains for years and knows how to pick the right weapon for the shot to maximize precision. So it seems like it's not just... It's sort of like you're getting this information from an alternate self in a different timeline, or a different parallel universe, rather. Anyway, a talent can be inspired to nearly any kind of skill or ability. To be an exceptional public speaker, which I wish I was, or to even invent things, or to solve and destructive things, whatever. So, in any case, just gonna take a second here. I always forget to do this, but just wanted to say that there's still the OGL sale at Indie Press Revolution. If you want to check that out, I'm going to post the link into the chat room right now. And then, of course, there is Onyx Path Publishing Game Night, which is going to be Friday, February 24th on the 23rd. It's always on the last Friday of the month, and it is always awesome as far as what I've heard. So you can join the Discord and check that out. Now, anything else I need to talk about? Pugmire 2E is still going on and is currently at 47,000. If you want to check that out. Okay. So now that we've got the talent stuff, what are talents? Let's do the creating. Apply the template to the character using the following steps. Society path from the allegiances. I already did that. Distinction between talent and skilled humans. Okay, so the talent is going to get their moment of inspiration. Were they born talented? Did they save someone else's life? Was there an exposure to flux? Was it a personal failure? Exposure to flux sounds kind of like what would happen to my character. Like maybe they were investigating something and got exposed to it. I think... Yeah, let's do exposure to flux. So, associated attribute is anything physical. Oh, I'm in max. I have to take away these dots. Associated attribute. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Put those back there for the moment. I'm clicking the wrong things all the time. Okay. So, checking to make sure my mic's still on. Mic's still on. Okay. I have to go back to character creation for a second because I am a little bit confused here as a beginner. Not only are you guys beginners, I'm also a beginner on this, so I apologize for any mistakes I made, and if you see any mistakes, just call me out on it, because this is... I've only read through this book for like a few hours, a couple of days, and I haven't played it myself. I'm just sort of trying to get the handle of it and help you go through what I go through when doing this. Okay, so attributes. Single dot in them. Also have an approach. An approach is how... There are 3 approaches. Favored approach. Okay, so I have the favored approach. And then if I go back to talents... It's an associated attribute. Okay, so it's just... It's associated with that. Okay. Any physical? I'll just put it there for the moment. I'm assuming that's going to come up. Let's see here. Inspired associated attribute. Oh, to decide on your character's inspiration. Okay. So we've done that. We've done that part. We go to advantage, add advantage. Each talent has a set of advantages that makes him more than just a normal human. Last step of character creation adds the advantages to the character using his moment of inspiration as a guide. Talents start with 4 gifts. Okay, so the 4 gifts were prior to this. So I'll just write that down so I remember. 4 gifts. 3 of which come from her paths, 1 from each. The last gift can be any gift regardless. 3 points to distribute into intuitive, reflective, or destructive facets of their inspiration. The character's inspiration score is determined by the ranks of her facets, calculated in the following way. And their inspiration... You start with a single point of inspiration, and your inspiration increases by 1 whenever one of these 3 facets reaches ranks 1, 3, and 5. Intuitive 2 starts at inspiration 3. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna probably do this one actually. So intuitive 2, reflective 1. Okay. Inspiration. Oh. So you automatically start with inspiration 1, and then for every inspiration that is at rank 1, you're going to get +1, and then you get another +1 when you get to rank 3. Okay. So if I did 3 in destructive, I would have 3. If I did 1 in all of these, I would have 4, because I would have this one would be giving me 1, this one would be giving me 1, this one would be giving me 1. And then I would get, essentially, I would get an extra 1 from character creation. But if I go here, I'm only getting 3, because I don't get extra inspiration for being at 2. Okay. So I'm going to go with intuitive and this for the moment, but I might change that. We'll see. So I start with 4 gifts, 1 for each of my paths. So adventurer, sneak, and 9. So let's look at the gifts. Narrating gifts. Gifts set talents apart from most other humans, since remember that they're a type of ability that twists luck that people expect their heroes to display. They're not superpowers. While the character may be bending probability ever so slightly in her favor, she's doing so in a plausible way. That's actually pretty neat. So I like that, and it's definitely a... I like super... It's like Super Cop, like the Jackie Chan movie Super Cop. You're a superpower. You're this epitome of expertise. You've done this all, and you know what you're doing, and all that stuff. Keywords. Are keywords something that I need to know? Keywords. Do a quick search. Okay, so skill keywords are associated with um, some of these. These aren't even the edges. These are just the gifts. Okay. So the keywords are luck and momentary here. Aptitude gifts. Oh, these are... Okay, so these aptitude gifts are... Okay. If anyone knows where I can find my allegiances gifts, that would be great. It did say for talent you get creating a talent. I go to the template. I get the advantages. You start with 4 gifts, 3 of which come from her path. 1 each for each. The last gift can be anything else regardless of your path. But if I look here to the chapter 7 on gifts, I'm not seeing anything that says path. Right? Path. I wish I was using a better thing here. Okay. Path associated gifts cost 4 points of experience. Gifts cost 5 experience each. I think I might have figured out what the issue is here. So if I go back to character creation and I look at my path creation. Okay, origin path. I did the adventurer. The edges were breath control here. Let's do free running. Free running is one that I know I'm going to take. Is it in the edges? It's in the edges. Okay. Are edges considered gifts? What are edges? Okay. Each edge has a number of dots associated with them. Okay. So edges can just be purchased at any moment. Character creation, though. Edges. When do I get edges? Okay, gifts. Here we go. I get aim, larceny, and technology. Okay, Cadam Wall says here, I thought the gift keyword indicates which gifts you can pick. So adventurers can take pilot and survival gifts. Okay, well, at the very least, I've seen here that... Thank you, Cadam Wall. At least I've seen here that these are the gifts for number 9. So I'll write that down here. So... maybe if I look for gifts here. Okay. Oh, these are the lesser ones. Okay. So I think you were right, Cadam Wall. I'm just looking for where those are listed because I did see something that basically showed every path here. But these aren't gift keywords. I guess the skill keyword, probably? Okay, so that's what you were saying, Catamwall, was pilot survival. So I'll put pilot and survival down. And the sneak is going to get athletics and larceny. I'm spelling this all wrong because I'm trying to do it quickly. We're at the end of the stream technically, but I want to get the character concept down. So I'm just going to quickly go through the gifts. Excuse me. Aptitude gifts. Intellect cunning. Do I have any cunning gifts? No, I do not. Or actually, maybe I do. Attribute cunning. Momentary. Prerequisite cunning 4. What's my cunning at? My cunning is at 4. I can technically take this. Your wits automatically notice mundane disguises or people trying to hide. Behold my halo. I like that. I like that first one. Mirrored glasses. Okay, I'm gonna take at Apex Cunning as my first gift because that one allows me to see through disguises. So that one is a cunning. That one has to be out of gift keyword then. Aptitude gifts? Okay, so aim. We'll look at here. Aim 3 or close combat 3. I only have aim 2, so I can't take that one. Steady hands aims. Shooting a gun out of an assassin's hand while leaning out the window or a moving car, no problem. Ignore first point of complications to aim actions from environmental or emotional distress. Not really one that I like. Here, trigger discipline. Anytime the character uses an aim action to add a complication to the field, those who designates are not affected by the complication as long as she's... So it's like shooting a propane tank. That's basically what that is. And causing an explosion, and it won't affect anyone nearby that you like. So trigger discipline. Okay, I got that down. So that was the aim. Now we have to go to pilot or survival. I'm gonna go to survival because pilot, this person isn't a wheelman. They're not gonna be doing things crazy. Oh, but I don't have those. You know what? I don't have pilot and I don't have survival, so I'm limited on my abilities. Internal compass is probably the only one I can take from that. Because it doesn't have a skill requirement. It doesn't have a prerequisite. What about pilot? What does pilot have? Please tell me you have a good one that does not need any dots. When driving... Blah, blah, blah. Once your character familiarizes themselves with a city, they cannot get lost. You know what? That's a good ability. I'm gonna take that. Head them off at the pass. Copy and paste that. And then we took our aim. we took our pilot, and now we have to take either a larceny or an athletics. Now, larceny, I think I have at 2. Athletics, I have at 1. So let's do larceny, because I have more that I can take with this. A special present. While some may use the art of legerdem, take small things, she is far more charitable. Her hands are easy pockets. Once per session, you may apply an enhancement bonus to an action to deposit something in someone's pocket. This is the reverse pickpocket from Fallout. I can drop a bomb in your pocket. Interesting. Why are these separated out? Forgettable. Oh, because it's either culture or larceny. Okay. That one's a good one. Hidden invention, in and in, listen in, nimble fingers, slip the cuffs. Man, larceny has a lot of gifts. You know what? I'm gonna... I forgettable. Definitely something a spy would want. Spend an inspiration for the rest of the scene. Gain enhancement bonus 2 to pass unnoticed or to pretend to be someone you aren't. Yes, I'm gonna take that one. That one is called forgettable. So I've taken those 4 gifts. I've gotten those 4 gifts. Now where are we at in character creation? To go to the talent section, and then okay. So I don't have high stamina, so I'm not gonna get the extra health boxes for stamina, or extra levels of injury for stamina. And defense is 1. So there we go. And it's 6:05, so I think we're at a pretty good spot for this. But I do want to maybe just look a bit more into the book to see here. Okay, so this is what you can get during play during the game. So if you do a short-term or long-term aspiration, you're going to get points. If all players get their short-term goal for that session, you do all get an extra point of XP, which is good. Spending your momentum. I talked about this in Scion 2E. Momentum is essentially a resource that can be spent through the characters, through different characters. That can be applied to activate different things. When do edges come into effect? Because I don't see in character creation the mention edges. They have dots. They have prerequisites. Is it in XP? Maybe if I go back to the experience. Oh, it was in the talent section, wasn't it? Example of advancement. Okay. Oh, talent advancement. Purchase a new gift. Add 1 dot to a single facet. Okay. We've got here... Oh, here's the character advancement. Doi. Okay. So, edges. Add 1 dot to a new or an existing edge is 3 points. One of my favorite things in any RPG book, by the way, is the quick reference for character creation, because there's usually something that you're missing when you're looking at this. That you're kind of like, where did they hide the fact that I get these extra cool ability called edges? Let's see, if I put my cursor in here, and then if I do a find edge. Okay. Edges associated with the path. So I missed this step because I was speeding through this. Players gain 2 dots to distribute among the edges associated with each path. A player can devote both dots to a single edge or divide them between the two. If an edge belongs to a character's path, she gets a discount for it later on. So, for each of his paths. So, I get 2 for being a sneak, I get 2 for being an adventurer, and I get 2 for being number 9. Great. Okay, so oh, that's right. Edges were listed with each one. So for penetration testing, the edges were breath control, free running, hardy, swift, demolitions, training, direction sense. I'm going to take free running and fast draw. So if I go to free running, fast draw requires aim 1. I get an enhancement on the first round of combat. That's good. So, edges, fast draw. That's a 1 dot. And then free running. Free running. Number of dots in athletics, at least to the value of your edge. I do have it 1 dot of athletics, so I am going to be able to take free running. 1 dot. There's my adventurer right done there. So now what do I have here? I could take for the sneak adrenaline spike, alternate identity, covert, free running, photographic memory, or skilled liar. Covert sounds interesting, so let's check out covert. Social edges. Is covert a social edge? Okay, so 1 dot to 3. Your character takes great care to guard privacy. Each dot of this edge increases the difficulty to learn any information about her by +1. If I have, however, if you can have the covert edge for 1 day. Interesting. You cannot possess this edge with the fame edge, but if you have alternate identity, you can do that. So I could take 1 dot in alternate identity, 1 dot in coverts, and be a famous person. You know what? Let's do it. Alternate identity covert. And then at some point I'm going to take a dot in fame for my alternate identity. Lastly, we have the number 9 ones, which were always prepared, covert, hair trigger, small unit tactics, sniper, or wealth. Let's do wealth. Is wealth not a, here it is. And you know what? I'm going to take 2 dots of wealth. as I've said to my players, always make sure that you take the resources or wealth merit, because it is just so good to be able to bribe someone. Now, we have our character. They are a spy, international spy. And I think I'm going to go here with a gender neutral name for this character of something like something that's like, yeah, Rubik's Cube. So Rubik. That sounds like a cool character concept. This sort of person who's sort of like blasted their past, but they're still affected by it. They probably have like family members that they're still in contact with, but try and keep distant so that they're not constantly putting them in danger. Their superhero concept. Now, thank you all for watching this stream as I flail around trying to make a character, and I hope you figured out some of the pitfalls that you might make during character creation, like being unsure what skills are associated with the gifts that you want to take, or in this last case, missing that you can take edges. Those really came out to me as like the things that I should have known a bit more early on in character creation. Additionally, I still don't really know what facets are. Facets. I don't know when they're used. New source of inspiration. That might be it. Each facet is related to an attribute. Okay, they're rated. Each facet's rating help describe how you go about completing your goal. Yeah. Forming her inspiration pool to spend. Okay. How much an attribute approach adds a bonus to a character's action when acting within her specific approach. A facet adds enhancements to a certain situation when the character acts within her facet's concept. Okay, that's good. So it's something I can add to my dice rolls. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to put you guys onto the pre-roll. I hope you enjoyed seeing me make this character of Rubik. Last bit, I'm just going to show off the character sheet here. Scroll it down just so you get to see everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one. And I'm going to try and see if there's anyone streaming Onyx Path games right now. Transition and mute my mic.